What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Wastelanders Doom. If you have not been keeping up with the Wastelanders run, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that is going on in this post-apocalyptic world. But for this story, we are going to be following Victor Von Doom. Now, Dr. Doom was a willing participant in the wiping out of all our heroes. And with all of the villains reigning victorious, he ruled his region of the wasteland ever since that day. But even in this hellish wasteland, there is always more for Doom. Taking place prior to Old Man Quill and Avengers of the Wasteland. Be sure to buy the comics, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with a bunch of scavengers chasing after what appears to be a Doombot. Having an EMP gun, their intention is to shoot this thing out of the sky and scavenge it for parts. With the rare metals, with everything that it takes to build a Doombot, this is going to be a big payout for them. None of them sure if this is even going to work, but they are going to take this chance. And raising up that gun, shooting at the Doombot, we see it turn around on them. But this is no Doombot. This is in fact Dr. Doom. And Dr. Doom lets them know that they got two things wrong in this situation. The first being, the EMP blast that it would take to take down a Doombot would fry all of their brains just by using the device. The radiation it would emit would be too great for any regular mortal to hold. And the second thing they got wrong is that this is no robot. Underneath all of this armor is flesh and bone. These scavengers quickly recognizing that they just messed up. Trying to apologize, it does not work, and Doom lays waste to all of them. And this is something that is becoming kind of more reoccurring. With the death of Red Skull, the people of the wasteland, they are beginning to grow bolder. And what Doom really sees here is people crying out for some kind of leadership, for somebody to step up and say, I will lead you people. Those that remain in the wasteland, I will be your guide. And as Dr. Doom quickly gets rid of any remnants of the people left over from his attack, he makes his way to a village that is nearby that all of his Doombots have avoided. Not just the Doombots, but Wastelanders themselves have avoided this village. Because anybody that goes here, they never return. And so, of course, Victor Von Doom, he finds this intriguing. In his own territory, in his own backyard, there is an entire village he knows nothing about, that his Doombots will stay away from. And he knows as he walks closer that someone in this town, they are holding a secret. A place that has no guards, birds chirping, children laughing, fresh herbs all over the place. It appears to be a legitimate oasis in this wasteland. The only issue is, all of it is wrong. And this place is reeking of magic. And with every cell in his body telling him that he should leave this place, that he is not prepared for what is about to happen. He cannot help himself because the stench of magic, it draws him closer and closer. And as he looks around this place and talks to an old woman sitting here knitting, she seems to have no memory of who she is, of where she came from. All she knows is that she knits. But lucky for Doom, he came prepared with a lens that will expose the truth. And that is that this place, it is all magic. Everything we see here is magic. Even the rain has been stolen from centuries beforehand. This is what helps make all of these crops grow. And Dr. Doom knows that this is dangerous, that this is reckless magic, sacrificing the past to save the future. But Doom has to admit that all of this makes him very excited. Something new, something fresh after all of these years. Not only that, there is an object that he has been looking for quite some time. Since the fall of our heroes, he has been searching for this object, and he believes that he has found it. He believes that it is here, because what else could do all of this? But as Doom makes his way through this town, we see all of the villagers, they start collapsing on him. And once they have him cornered, they start opening fire. But these poor souls, they were dead the moment they stepped foot in front of Doom. With him massacring every single villager that stands in his way, that is when a woman by the name of Sophie makes her arrival, saying that he is welcome inside the temple, but to enter, he is gonna have to go through 3 trials, and he is gonna have to pay a toll. And with them going through the front doors, this is where he is met by his first trial. Seeing his mother in torture, seeing her in anguish, he could stop right here and save his mother's life. He could live out the rest of his days right here in the loving, warm embrace of the woman who birthed him. But this first trial, it does not stop him. They continue to proceed. They move to the second trial, not looking back as his mother screams and pleads for any kind of help. And with them continuing their walk, they run into trial number 2, that being Valeria. This is Valeria Richards. It is Reed Richards' daughter and goddaughter to Victor Von Doom. Because Sue Storm, she was dying in childbirth. He managed to save her and the baby, triumphing where Reed had failed and becoming the Godfather. But being able to push through this memory, being able to move forward and not stay in this spot, now comes the toll, the price he has to pay for walking through those doors. And that price, it is going to come at a cost of a memory, something that he holds near and dear to him. And the memory that he gives up, it's a memory when he was younger, when he felt pain. He had scraped his knee. He was alone. He was scared, crying out for help. He had to be carried home, back to where his father was. And Sophie lets him know that if this is the memory you would like to let go of, which it is, because this memory he doesn't want to remember, that it serves no true purpose to him. Sophie reminds him that the man that was there, the one that carried you home, he carried you for 2 hours. His body had ached for days, but seeing the sign of relief on your father's face, it made everything worth it. And this is the memory that he lets go of. And so with the toll now being paid, he goes into the next room and he finds the one who has been running everything. And that individual is Mordu. And he is a little thrown off, surprised that Mordu even stayed alive after Red Skull had died. And circling around him, he has dimension blades. Blades that would cut through any armor and any flesh. This is something that Doom has no defense against. He has no way of protecting himself. And so when Mordu goes to attack, there is nothing that Dr. Doom can do. And he feels every bit of the pain. An incredible sensation, a pain that he has not felt in so many years. An all-consuming hatred. This is what it feels like to die. With Dr. Doom trying to make an attack, but his magical protection barrier, it is impenetrable. And this is when Dr. Doom recognizes this power, this magic, it comes from beyond him. Whatever it is unbreakable. And this is what lets Doom know that this is where the book is. The book that he has been looking for. Letting Mordu know that he doesn't know the magic he is dealing with. And the woman that was outside, the one that was sitting there knitting, not knowing who she was, the echoes ring through her mind. What Victor Von Doom had told her. He had released her and let her know the truth. That her name is Agatha. And as Mordu goes on bragging about how he has more or less made these people into his cattle. He has corralled them into this place and uses them as his servants. And while he is going on about all of this, Agatha is coming to the realization of who she is, with memory flooding back into her mind. Mordu had taken her powers, her dignity, had even taken her sight, reduced her to a mindless being existing only to weave his magical protection. But with all of her power returning, so do years of pain and fear and exhaustion. Her only solace is that without her, Mordu is now vulnerable. And as Agatha walks out into the distance, as she takes off into the wasteland, she whispers to the wind, "Thank you." And the wind replies with, "You owe me one." That reply coming from Dr. Doom. But now that Mordu is vulnerable, no longer protected by his magic, his entire village comes collapsing down, and Dr. Doom impales him right through the stomach, with Mordu letting him know that if you kill me, you kill everyone in this village. But Doom has no issue with this, because he is releasing them, no longer being prisoners. Death is more than welcoming. With Mordu just wanting some freedom, Doom is more than willing to oblige. Chopping off the head of Mordu, behind the man he finds the book, the one he has been looking for all of these years, with Sophie letting him know that Mordu read from that book and he lost part of his mind. But Doom is not concerned because Mordu was weak and Dr. Doom is not. And with him going and flying off, believing that Sophie had come here for the Darkhold, that is not in fact the case. She came here looking for Doctor Strange. She came looking for her father because Sophia is the daughter of Doctor Strange. Giving Dr. Doom all the warning she can about that book, he knows full well what it is capable of. And now that he has it, he has every intention of ruling. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This was definitely a fun issue. We got to see that Agatha had actually been more or less imprisoned, as well as Sophia Strange, the daughter of Doctor Strange. And it only makes sense that they were all called to this place, called to where the Darkhold is. And Mordu, he held this power for quite some time. Using the help of Agatha, he was able to reign supreme in Doom territory, going completely unnoticed until Doom himself decided to go investigate. If it were not for the help of Agatha weaving his protection over this place, it simply would not be possible. But now that Doom has the book, there is no one to stop him from learning to read out of it, to stop him from losing his mind and gaining all of the power that comes with the Darkhold. For the first time ever, Dr. Doom could truly become the ruler of Earth. Now, the next issue is going to be Wastelanders Black Widow. So be sure that you guys are subbed to the channel, you've hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.